Okay, let's get today's edition of Business Morning started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Let's kick things off with the biggest story that we are seeing today. Is the International Monetary Fund will be releasing Nigeria's staff report and Article 4 consultation papers that will be due out about 2:30 local time. The International Monetary Fund a few days ago released a press statement giving a summary of the conclusion of the meetings held with the Nigerian authorities and what the details of those economic and markets assessments and outlook would be like. Is something that will be tracking from 2:30 Nigerian time to the rest of the day. The details will be out at a press conference that will be held today in Washington. Another big story today is President Buhari's formally unveiling his administration's economic recovery and growth plan called the ERGP. That is about 11 o'clock, about an hour from now, and may provide further details and clarity on the ERGP's implementation via a special unit to be constituted. Now, this is very interesting. The House Committee on Banking and Currency, led by Honorable Jones Oyeyeri, has read a riot act to the federal government, the Ministry of Finance, and the Central Bank of Nigeria over debts owed to the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, simply known as AMCON. The Honorable Chairman of the Committee on Banking says that it will not, quote, it will not be desirable to continue to patronize individuals and companies who are hugely indebted to AMCON while the companies refuse to repay their debts. So he wants the government not to patronize them. And in the meantime, he says at the meeting with the AMCON officials in Abuja on Tuesday that the Ministry of Finance should deduct at source the value of the debt owed by such debtor companies or individuals with expected receivables from the federal government. And the committee chair also has words for the Central Bank of Nigeria and says all wrongly declared loans due to packaging or the state of the collaterals by the commercial banks should be reloaded and back to the lenders to enable AMCON cover its funding gap. That's the statement from the committee chairman in charge of banking and currency. And he says the government at the top there should stop patronizing companies and individuals owing the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria. So that's a bit of what is in the news as we speak. But look at the markets. On Tuesday, the second trading day, the Naira made a very strong comeback against the US dollar, but lost trade water against the pound and the euro across the two major markets, the interbank spot market and the street markets against the dollar. The Naira made about 0.5% to 306.25. The interbank spot market recovered but lost ground against the British pound and the euro at 397.42 and 337.28. At the street market, you find the Naira up about 1.27% against the greenback and flat against the pound sterling and the euro, but the strongest gain was against the dollar, was 390 on the street. We started the week around 395 at the street level. The stock market shaved off a bit of its losses on Monday, about 1%, but that's reduced slightly to about 0.03% on Tuesday. The market still in the red, bled a little bit further, but a little bit contained because of gentle gains in the consumer goods, where the index fetched about 0.1% of 0.1%, I beg your pardon, and industrial goods about 0.3%. Those gains helped contain what you saw, 0.61% decline in the banking sector. The all-share index, 25,266.15, and the market cap sitting at that figure, you see the 8.74 trillion. If we flip that and look at the volume and the primary data, 180 million. Total transaction was higher by almost 85% on Monday. Tuesday on Monday, value 1.62 billion, not so significantly different from the Monday figure. And you find the deals there almost 3,000, tracking the total transactions level on Monday. But if you flip and you move on to the NESD OTC market, where you have the unlisted securities, you find the market a little bit in the red, deeper than the Nigerian Stock Exchange, 1.91%. It was the USI, what you call the unlisted securities index reading at the close of the market on Tuesday, 620.61. On the reading, market cap, not significantly different, almost 420 billion. In total volume, that's a little bit higher than what we saw on Monday, 40,700, and the Naira value, 1.4 million. Quite a very small market if you keeping an eye on that. But the fixed income market still remained a little bit tepid on Wednesday. Yesterday was the final day in which the central bank asked dealers not to provide a two-way code for treasury bills. So take a quick look at a snapshot of what the transactions looked like at that market at the end of that space. So you find 10 transactions in the treasury bills maturing 5th of October 2017 at a discount high of 18.30. This was data from the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange. And you can see the total value of the transactions in that sector when that you flip that page over, and you can see the numbers are still a bit lukewarm for the second trading day of the week, was a little bit higher than the closing figures on Monday. The bond market, that's the Naira bond market, not significantly different.